Hey everybody, it's Benita, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. I hope all is going well. I hope you're being kind, and I do hope someone's being kind to you. Today, I just wanted to talk to you real briefly about being in that waiting stage when you've prayed for something and it seems like the more you pray for something, the more the opposite starts to happen. And you start getting frustrated and anxious and overwhelmed or what have you. So I wanted to talk about patience. And a lot of times when we hear the word patience, we automatically think, well, I've been waiting and waiting. Patience doesn't always mean just waiting. Patience is also to have the ability to accept delay, accept struggle, accept inconvenience, and so patience is not just waiting, it's also having the ability to accept exactly what you see. And sometimes you have to adapt to exactly what's in front of you, because we live in a real world. If you broke your toe, I'm not going to tell you don't say my broke toe, because in fact it is your broke toe. Things happen and we'll say something and people say, oh, don't claim that. I'm not claiming it, it's my reality. You know what I'm saying? And so our reality is such that we live in the real world. We accept what we see, and although we're believing for something different, at this point, this is what it is. And so we have to learn how to have patience even within the struggle. What if God doesn't remove the struggle right away? Then you still got to have patience. One of the things that helped me when I had my first brain surgery, in December 19th, 2016 was my first brain surgery. And while I was recovering, I was praying for different things. And while I was recovering, one moment. Let's see. Pause this. Okay, I'm back. And so while I was recovering, I had a lot of questions, and it seemed like, God was just not answering any of my questions, because I still had a lot of, there was still a lot of unknown factors, like how did I get brain tumors? How long have they been there? I don't recall anyone else in my family going through anything like this. So it was a lot of questions that I had, but so like the more questions I had, the fewer answers I was getting. And so one thing that I've learned being a Christian is whenever I get into a place where I'm not sure, like which way to go or if I'm hearing correctly, I'll just shut down and go on a fast and just lock in prayer for a few days or what have you. I'll just do it for however long I'm led to do so. This particular time, it was 21 days after my first brain surgery. And what I did was each day I just journaled whatever, like the conversation between God and I was during my time of devotion and prayer. And by the time I did 21 days, I came out with the book on 21 days of fasting and praying. Anytime I get stuck on something, I always go pull out my book. I pull out this book I wrote, 21 Days of Fasting and Praying, Pursuing a Greater Understanding and Revelation from God. So anytime I get stuck and I can't understand why this is happening, why that was happening, why did God allow that to happen? I don't ever think that God caused it to happen, but I am always asking, why did you allow it to happen? Like, what am I supposed to get out of this? Is this going to be a lesson or a blessing? Because either way, it has to work for my good. I just don't believe God's going to arbitrarily put me through things just to see, you know, if I can go through it and how I'm going to go through it. I believe that if I'm going through something, it has to do two things. It has to work for my good, and it has to bring God glory. And so, because I do believe that anytime God sends us into or allows us to go into struggle or battle, for me, I believe that at the end of it, victory is already attached to it. I don't believe that God ordains something and then withholds victory. You see what I'm saying? So if he sends you through something, victory is already there with it. And sometimes we get bogged down in that waiting period, that period of not knowing and not accepting what's really going on. And so I wrote this book, and I'm going to be sharing this book with you periodically. It is on Amazon Prime 2 days, and I have a few of them left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 books left, and they're $10. That does include your shipping inside the United States, okay? Inside of the United States, the books are $10, okay? I only have 4. You can purchase them by inboxing me, because I'll only entertain those that are actually serious about getting the book, you know. So if you see in this video, send me a message, and I'll let you know if I still have any more left, okay? This is a book I wrote, and it has helped me, and it still helps me to this day when I'm just, you know, crowded and clouded in my head. I'm going to read you the first one, and like I said, I'm going to come periodically and read this book with you, and my prayer is that you glean something from it that can help you gain strength, you know, and find a deeper and a much richer relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, I think that everything we go through is to bring us closer to God. Oh yeah, I know that the enemy throws little things in there to try to pull us away from God. But if we can learn, like I told you, the word patience, it means to accept the delay, accept the struggle, accept the hard time. So once you accept that this could be the will of God, this could be the way God is taking me, then you will be able to come into agreement with God. You see what I'm saying? But as long as we're fighting the process, like I did for a long time, because like I said, no one in my family that we knew of, I just had a lot of questions, you know, with no answers. And I just had to write it out. You know, I'm still writing it out, you know, but now what makes it a little bit more digestible for me is that it has improved or deepened my relationship with God. Okay, so the first one you can read Psalms 27:1. The first day is releasing your fear. Okay, I'm just going to give you this for now, and then tomorrow we'll actually go through it and read it. So the first day we're going to learn how to release our fear. All right. I didn't want to go over my time. I didn't want to make this a part 2. So I'm going to end right here. And remember, patience, being patient is not just waiting. It's being able to accept the delay, the struggle, or anything else that comes your way. All right. Have a blessed day.